What's happening, Metal Sluts? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all having an absolutely killer day. Thank you very much for tuning in. Of course, if you're new around here, I'm GoreCore. Welcome to the channel. Today, we're going to have another music reaction, and today we are once again going to return to the band At the Gates. We're going to check out their new video and song entitled The Dissonant Void that comes off of The Ghost of a Future Dead, which is their new album that releases on April 24th, and sadly, their last. If you're not familiar with these guys, their vocalist Thomas recently passed away from cancer, so this will be the last album by these guys. But this is a band that's been very influential to myself, as well as many bands in the scene over the years. They basically defined this kind of Gothenburg melodic death metal sound that they have, and just a very unique band. Great stuff. They're based out of Sweden. They play melodic death metal. But before we get into this, I do have a favor to ask of all of you. If by chance you're a horror fan, I recently released my debut horror short film, The Treatment and the Cure. If you could give that a watch, it would mean the world to me. You can find a link in the description as well as right here. If you like some practical effects, some blood and gore, a little bit of dark humor and 80s vibes, it might be something you'll find some entertainment in. And of course, if you do, please leave a like, comment on it, and share it with your friends. I would like to make more short films in the future, so the support of all of you would definitely help make that happen. But I digress. Let's get back into this At the Gates reaction and see what this new track has for us. Sounds great so far already. Once again, it feels like classic At the Gates. So good. Love the energy behind this. Great melodies. Video is definitely different, interesting art style. Echo there is cool. Loving Thomas's vocals on this too, sounds great. And there we have it. That was At the Gates with The Dissonant Void, and I have to say, this is great. Definitely enjoyed this very much. It feels like classic At the Gates. It's definitely something I enjoy, and I'm kind of bummed out, honestly, because I know that this is the last album we're going to get. It's definitely a tragedy that, you know, Thomas went way too young. Fucking cancer. Yeah, but this was fantastic. High energy, wonderful melodies. His voice in this sounds fantastic. Sounds like his classic voice that we're so used to. He's got a very distinct voice, and I love that about this band. Really stands out from a lot of people. And everything about this is just great. Musicians are absolutely killing it. Like I said, it just sounds classic to me. And based off the way this is going, this might actually end up being one of my favorite albums of theirs. It feels very Slaughter of the Soul, and that is definitely my favorite album by these guys. I mean, obviously, I know a lot of people who like their earlier stuff than that, but that was the album I was introduced to. So generally, when I'm introduced to a band, whatever album that might be, generally ends up being my favorite, unless they really do something to really outperform it. But I think that's kind of their epitome of, you know, what they did. You know, obviously the earlier stuff was still similar, but it was a little bit more rough and a little bit more raw, but still awesome, of course. But yeah, this just kind of hits all the marks for me. It's great, definitely enjoying it. Now, as far as the video goes, I have to admit, I don't really know what was taking place in that. Kind of an interesting art style, but I really couldn't make heads or tails of it. But I was wrapped up in the song, and I'm sure really at this point, this is just a way for them to promote the songs and the album. I mean, it's not like you're really trying to promote your band in the sense to move forward, because obviously they still want to sell albums, and I'm sure they will, because again, this is a classic band and it's going to be a great album, I feel. But obviously there won't be any future touring, any sort of thing like that, unless maybe at some point down the road there's some kind of like, you know, tribute. But I think Thomas's vocals are quite unique, and I mean, again, if it's a tribute thing, I'm cool with that. But I mean, whether they'll go that route or not, they might just lay it to rest and let it be. You know, while being somewhat of a big band, I mean, they're not a huge band, so I don't really know if that's something that would appeal to them. Anyways, I'm just kind of ranting on here. But yeah, this was fantastic. So if this is your first time hearing the band, then I highly recommend you go check them out, especially if you enjoyed this track, because if you did, I can guarantee there's other songs you'll enjoy as well. And of course, if you do, support them. It helps bands out, and that's what you should do. I mean, whether that's buying merch, going to a show, which obviously won't be the case here, but buying the album, picking up a shirt, whatever, still helps the rest of the members in the band out. You know, so they still got to survive, so I'm sure it's definitely a big help to them. And that should go for any band that you enjoy. Of course, if you have a moment to help support this channel, then please subscribe. It helps the channel grow. Impale that like button, and if you'd like to get our future updates, stab the notification bell down below for that. Also, don't forget about those socials down below. You can follow me on all of the major platforms. Of course, the original link is down below, and I also play in some extreme projects as well. You'll find links down below for that, and if you take the time to listen to something, I'd love to get some feedback. But first and foremost, if you are a horror fan, please check out my short film. I care about that most, and it's really what I'm focused on at the moment. So I would definitely appreciate your support there, and I appreciate your support by watching these videos. Thank you so much. Hope everybody has a wicked sick day. Cheers, everybody.